And we are live, and a good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of A Clash of Crows featuring death battles with your favorite Game of Thrones characters. I'm your host, the Westerosi Ninja, and joining me today is none other than Johnny B. Crazy, otherwise known as the Mouth of the South, and one of my favorite people in the community. So what's going on, Johnny? What's happening?
Not much, man. I'm glad to know that I'm one of your favorites. And also, there's a lot of money on the line here, so I will be getting serious. Curses will be said. It's going to get bad. No, this is going to be so much fun. Thank you so much for having me on, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, and hey, no problem. No, just really happy to have you on here. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to thank everyone for being patient with me. While I've been on vacation the past few weeks, I know everybody needed their, a Clash of Crows fix since it's must-see TV. And I promise I won't take another vacation for at least another week. All right. So before we get started with the actual game, I'll just go ahead and flash a slide showing the rules and regulations of this particular game. And basically what they are is the stream will consist of at least 7 scenarios with duels between random Game of Thrones characters, or maybe not Game of Thrones characters, with random weapons in random places. Okay, and then the players, meaning myself and Johnny, will alternate on who goes first. Okay, second bullet point, okay, is that it is not a competition. It's not meant to be serious, guys. Okay, it's a discussion that can lead to a debate, and it's okay to agree or disagree at the end. Okay, third point is that the host will clarify any questions that the guest might have with responses that will usually support his own argument, meaning me, right? My argument. So that's really important to understand that part. Whether or not what I say is the truth or not, that's the way I'm going to be responding to any kind of questions. And lastly, the most important thing for everybody to know and realize is that, you guys, everybody needs to be respectful, obviously. And if you disagree with someone, someone, what they say in the chat, on air. Okay, it's okay to poke fun, but please, no personal attacks will be tolerated. Got the Kingsguard in the chat right now, and they are ready and willing to boot somebody out if needed. So that's not a threat. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Given our society in 2019. So with that said, I think we should go ahead and start. But before that, Johnny, any questions, comments?
Oh, I don't think. Can they kick you out? Like if you get too personal?
Sure, they can kick me out, but then the stream's over, right? So...
I guess that wouldn't be advantageous to the viewer.
All right. Yeah, but definitely can kick me out. No problem. So before we get going, so let's go ahead and start. And I'm just going to show you a quick example of what we do here. So basically, in this example here, we have, basically 3 columns. We have a character, a random character, random weapons, and random locations. So in this imaginary, quote unquote, duel, right, we have Daario Naharis with tonfa sticks, okay, in Sunspear Alley, fighting against the Alabama elephant mascot, okay, with trimming shares. And I need to put this in here because Johnny told me that he was a University of Alabama fan. So why not have the Alabama elephant mascot in here as a challenger?
Well, of course he wins because of the mascot suit buffers him against any attacks and then just stabs him in the alley. This one's easy. No.
Yeah, but Daario, is a trained sellsword. Those tonfa sticks can probably bust through any kind of pillow and padding that the mascot might have.
He knows to go straight for the trunk, probably.
All right. But anyway, so you guys get the idea, okay? So we just gave you a taste of what this game is, okay? So with that, okay, without further ado, to start off, I'm going to ask Johnny here to give me a number between 1 and 15, so to sufficiently randomize the board.
7.
7? Everybody picked 7. So
they did?
No, that's fine. 7's all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so our first fight is going to be Mace the Ace Tyrell with a cutlass, okay, in the King's Landing throne room. He's going up against Randyll Tarly with a flaming torch. Now, Johnny, as you're the visiting team here, so you get the bat first. So tell me, what do you think? What's gonna happen here?
So, first off, Mace Tyrell will bust out into song. Now, he's going to kind of lull Randall Tarley to sleep here. Randall's going to try to go jabbing, maybe try to singe the beard. But I fear that Mace Tyrell, he's a pretty good fighter. He may be an oaf, but he is a good fighter. And eventually, he's going to take down Randall Tarley. Now, he's going to slice him a couple of times and then probably smash his head in on a sconce later. Then, he'll ask his mother what to do after that.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah. I mean, the irony of Rando with a flaming torch, definitely. Now, yeah. So, who do you pick for this? Okay, you think Mace is gonna win this? Can take this or what?
Yeah, I think Mace is definitely going to win it. Like I
Yeah.
said, he's going to warm him up with those pipes.
Okay. Well, I mean, so what we have here is a classic matchup of like two men from the Reach, right? We have the Lord of Highgarden, Mace Tyrell. He's obviously trained, okay, in the kind of like the martial arts of warfare and probably combat fighting when he was younger. But now he's just kind of like a big fat guy and pretty old, right? So as to whether or not he's retaining in that kind of combat training is kind of like it's kind of up in the air. Okay, no, he has a pretty good weapon, right? A cutlass is those swords that pirates use, that curved blade, and they are in the King's Landing throne room. So I mean, there's space, right? There's enough space to actually use that weapon, and the same thing can be applied for the flaming torch that Randall Tardy has, right? I mean, it's a kind of a melee weapon, so it could be used in close quarters. So in terms of the weapons themselves and the location, I think it's kind of offset. I think it's pretty even in terms of the weaponry and location. I mean, the sword is probably a little bit better, but you can do a lot of damage with a flaming torch, right? Just stick it in somebody's face and they'll just get blinded, right? Now, so what it really boils down to is how well do you trust Mace the Ace right now as a fighter against one of the most badass battle commanders in Westeros right now, in Randall Tarley? Say,
Oh,
and I know part of me thinks that Mace the Ace has lost a step, and he hasn't remembered, how to really fight well with the sword. So I'm gonna have to go with Randall Tarley here, the flaming torch, basically sticking that torch, while Mace is singing and basically blinding him, and then he'll drop his cutlass, and then Randall will just go ahead and basically burn him alive.
well, to counter your point, I think Randall Tarley will underestimate Mace, and Mace will give into that by singing. He'll be like, "What the hell is this crazy man doing?" Uh, I do fear that Mace Tyrell could catch on fire at any point, but he may not have stamina. He would have to end it very quickly, but his reflexes are still there. Probably, you still have that muscle memory from training all those years when you were young. You may not have the stamina for it. So I really want to see this fight, man. The flaming sword, no, not the flaming sword, the flaming torch. It's almost like Thoros of Myr charging through the breach to
Yeah.
kill Mace Tyrell. Oh my goodness, man. I will stick with Mace Tyrell, even though I keep wanting to poke holes in it. He was a pretty fierce warrior, and I think he will end it quickly. But the space is cause for concern. Also, all the
Yeah.
facial hair and the finery he wears could go up in flames at any moment. But Randall Tarley could catch himself on fire as well.
The thing about Randall, I mean, what I like about Randall is that he is an experienced battle commander, and he's a master tactician, right? So I mean, he'll know how to move around Mace the Ace, right, with that flaming torch, and basically figure out a way to spot his weakness, and basically boom, basically poke Mace's face with that flaming torch, and basically Mace is gone at that point. Mace has never proven himself to be that great of a fighter nor a tactician, right? Because the only thing that we know about his early days is that, yeah, I mean, he was a general who basically laid siege in front of Storm's End, but all he did was just basically, him and Admiral Redwine just basically sat outside the gates and basically just feasted, right? So I mean, if he has a great tactician, he would probably figure out a way to break the siege within 3 or 4 months.
Well, there's no way he could just swing at Mace with the wooden torch. Mace could just cut the torch, and then you just have a stick after that. Now, again, if he survives, I still think he could kill Mace with a stick, but Mace has a cutlass right here. The problem is they are in the King's Landing throne room, and there is a lot of space, to your point. So, like, I'm hurting my own argument here, but I can't help but kind of be pulled over to your side.
So
I feel like Mace's singing is going to be the wild card.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think the wild card is, how much do you trust Mace as having retained those skills with the cutlass? I mean, is he dangerous with the cutlass at this point? And that's a wild card. We don't know. So, so Johnny, so if you had to lay odds, on Mace, what would you give him in terms of percentages?
I'd maybe give him a 2-1. In the beginning, if the fight goes longer than a minute, Randall Tarley's odds significantly increase with every second after a minute. So,
all right,
after a minute of the fight, Randall Tarley wins pretty much. But
okay, 2-1.
I think Mace will end it quickly.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking Randall will probably. I'll probably give him maybe like a 70 or 80%. No, 80% chance of winning this fight. 80-20 is what I'm going with. I mean, Mace might get a lucky strike in that sword, especially if he remembered how to use it. But I really doubt that. I mean, the guy's an oaf right now. So, yeah, I'm sure oafs, in history have killed people. But it's tough to bet for Ace here. It's tough to go against Randall. It's my own personal feeling, but that's just me. So, 80-20 Randall.
Well, now that I think about it, I feel maybe Mace had practiced just a little bit before he tried to go get his daughter out from the great Sept of Baelor. So, he gave that rousing speech and barely fit in his armor, but they brought the breastplate stretcher, so they were able to fit him in there.
Okay. So there you have it, guys. So our first match, Johnny's going with Mace, the ace. I'm going with Randall, and people in the chat are actually pretty funny here. Dog Show says that Tardy's going to go Disco Inferno on Mace. So, probably. I totally agree with Disco Inferno on Mace, definitely. Let's see. Owen says that Mace would light him up like Denethor if Randall lit him up. So, whatever that means, okay. I know Denethor is the Lord of the Rings steward of Minas Tirith. Mackenzie says... She agrees with you. Tyrell could be the underdog winner.
I don't know. That's like a backhanded compliment. I would say there's a good chance of them both catching on fire. There's about a 15% chance of both of them going out.
Okay. And Bubba says that Mace is a knight who grew up in a noble house, lots of training. Yeah, we talked about that. But now it's all. The question is whether or not he's retained that training. Being like the Lord of Highgarden for like 30 years without any kind of real battle experience. Since then, again, the guy is a fat oaf now. So what does that mean?
I don't know what it means. I know he's got a minute left in him. If you challenge a fat boxer, he's going to knock you out if you don't wear him out first. If you get hit by him, he's going to knock you out. But Randall Tarley has trained a lot as well. But Mace Tyrell was a pretty damn good fighter. So it's a tough one. This is a very tough one.
Tough. I mean, the thing about Randall, though, I think Randall was more willing to fight dirty than Mace would. I mean, Mace wouldn't know how to fight dirty, whereas Randall would do anything to win, right?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, I have to give it to the mean old guy here instead of the jolly old fool. I think the mean old guy takes it.
He is ruthless, but I got to pull for the jolly old fool, man. I can't help it.
All right, Johnny. Next match, okay? Next match. Give me a number, 1 and 15.
15.
All right. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, man. Okay, so we have Lord Varys, okay, with a pitchfork in the dragon pit. Against Strong Belwas, guardian and bodyguard of Daenerys Targaryen, with a staple gun. Who takes this? Okay, I guess it's my turn, right? Since we're alternating.
Yeah, but really quick.
Go ahead.
After this diet.
Excuse me. What was the question?
Before or after the Slim Fast diet that Strong Belwas took with the locusts?
Well, he was still pretty good after the locust. I mean, he was kind of like knocked out, but I mean, he's so powerful that I mean, he was able to eat like a whole plate of, you know, poison honey locusts and still survived. So. All right. So yeah, yes. Okay. Say before or after. I don't think it matters. Okay. After he's a little bit more weak. Okay. But yeah. I think this is obvious who's going to win here. I mean, Varys has absolutely no skill. Okay. So in terms of characters, in terms of fighting abilities, I got to give it to Strong Belwas, known as one of the best fighters on Planetos. Right. Undefeated according to himself, pit fighter of Meereen. Okay. You got to be a pretty badass fighter to be deemed the bodyguard of Daenerys Targaryen, right? You gotta have some credibility. You gotta have some chops, right? Now, in terms of the weapon, okay, so what you have here is kind of like a ranged kind of, you know, melee weapon with that pitchfork. I mean, it's pretty good stuff. And pitchfork is, you know, it's no joke as a weapon, right? I mean, people hunted witches with pitchforks, right? So against a staple gun, okay. Staple guns, you know, you might think it's a ranged weapon, but it really isn't, right? After the first maybe 6 inches, right, those staples just fly everywhere if you're familiar with using a staple gun. Okay, so it's not really that great of a ranged weapon, you know. It's powerful up close, definitely powerful. It'll hurt, right? I mean, ask anybody who's been, you know, impaled by a staple gun. It's definitely not fun. And, you know, the Dragon Pit, okay, it's basically like a standard fighting arena. So I can't give anybody kind of like a clear advantage in terms of the actual location itself. So there's no home field advantage or anything like that going on. But, you know, it boils down to the character fighting abilities. I mean, Varys has never proven himself to be, you know, that great of a fighter, or, you know, or he doesn't even have fighting abilities, right? I mean, his whole shtick is basically, you know, spreading information, obtaining information, and spreading disinformation, right? So, you know, him with the pitchfork, I just can't see that as a great weapon for him, because versus, you know, again, the bodyguard of Daenerys Targaryen, one of the best fighters, okay? One of my top 3 fighters of Planetos, by the way, in Strong Belwas. And, you know, and even the staple gun, I mean, basically, Strong Belwas can basically stand there, Varys should basically poke and jab him with that pitchfork, right? No, the literal pitchfork, not the figurative pitchfork, by the way, guys. Your dirty minds there. And basically, you know, just basically grab that pitchfork away from him, just swat it away, and then basically, you know, rush in there with that staple gun, boom. You know, a few staples to the face, down goes Varys. He went, you know, and Belwas was just stomping him after that. So I got to go with Belwas here, you know. What about you, Johnny?
Well, the location, there's a few dark crevices and cracks and even an underpit to the Dragon Pit. Now, I'm going to go with Varys, only because of this situation and that he was a rogue his whole childhood. He's going to set a MacGyver trap in one of these shadows. Now, he may not be able to beat Belwas, but he can run away from Strong Belwas and lure him into a trap. Strong Belwas is not very smart at all. And I believe this is to Varys' advantage. He is a survivor. He is gutter scum. he knows how to scrounge and kill. So I don't think it would be the first time he's killed a better man than him by setting him up in a trap. And I could see that happening in this scenario. Yeah. If you give Varys just, you know, all he needs is a little piece of twine from his undertunic, and he can make a nice little tripwire trap. I'm just going insane with this now, but I do think Varys could pull it off just by his wits.
Well, you know, I mean, if Varys had like a weapon like a crossbow, right? You know, perhaps, okay, he can kill Strong Belwas. But come on, with a pitchfork, I mean, you got to get at least 6 feet. You know, you got to get at least within 6 foot radius of Strong Belwas. And Belwas, you know, is a trained fighter, sellsword, you know, undefeated fighter of the fighting pits. I mean, he's been up against much worse weapons than a pitchfork. Okay, so he knows how to dodge one of those things, swat one away. And after that, it's just, you know, just a few steps with that staple gun, boom, you know, staples to the face, down goes Varys.
Yeah, staple's a good aim. Staple the gash. Uh-oh. James Franco. All right, I'm back. I, I'm gonna go Varys because this is the hard one. I'm taking the hard route, and I think he could pull it off. There's a way that he could set a trap and run Strong Belwas right into the pitchfork. He wouldn't even have to hold it himself. He just wedge it in a crevice. He's good at doing that, wedging things in crevices, and I think he can make him run into it. I don't know how much farther I can go with this. I'm just digging my own grave here.
All right. So if I had to give you odds on this match, okay, I'm going with probably, realistically here, okay, I'm going with a 95% chance of Strong Belwas winning against. Yeah, perhaps Varys can, somehow goad him into making a mistake with his sweet honeyed words or whatever, or perhaps he can use kind of like the rubble in the dragon pit to his advantage, perhaps. And Felicia, yeah, you're making some kind of comments about the fact that the dragon pit is partly collapsed, and there might be some rubble that Varys can hide behind. Whatever, okay? But anyway, okay, whatever. But perhaps all that stuff can happen, and that's why I'm giving him the 5% chance of taking it. But realistically, 90% chance, 95% chance, Strong Belwas just being the utterly superior fighter here. Okay, he can easily swat that pitchfork away.
Well, I would say there's a 60% chance that Varys wins by rubbing feces on the pitchfork and then setting a trap. He might die like Oberyn in the making, but Strong Belwas will die of sepsis later.
Right. Yeah, maybe, but the poisoning would be long lasting, and think about it this way. I mean, if Strong Belwas didn't die from poison honey locust, how would he die from basically feces soaked pitchfork spikes?
And Carrie makes up a good point. Strong Belwas always lets him cut him. So, yeah, Varys would definitely rub some feces on there. Go ahead and get the poison started. And then run around and wait for him to die of infection. Is there a time limit on this?
Okay. Maybe in that 5% chance that Varys will have enough time to rub his own feces into the pitchfork and basically let Belwas cut him with the pitchfork. And maybe the 5% chance that after he's been cut with that feces-infested pitchfork, he'll just drop right away. Okay, then I'll give it to Varys. But that's that's why I'm saying he gets a 5% chance here. So.
I'm gonna stick with Varys, just because I gotta go the hard route.
Okay, so Johnny goes 60-40 Varys. I'm going 95-5 Strong Belwas. All right, and people like your poo tactics evidently. So good job, Johnny.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Pick a number between 1 and 15.
2, I guess.
2. All right.
Your fingers getting twitchy, probably.
Number 2 here. We're going number 2. So 1. All right. Okay. So for this one, we have hot pie. Okay, with a lead pipe. Not a bad weapon. Okay, in the Yi Ti Emperor's Plaza. Okay, sort of like, the emperor in Beijing. The plaza in Beijing is about that size. Okay, against Howland Reed with a cudgel. Okay, what do you think, Johnny, this guy?
I think Howland Reed. This is a good matchup. Now,
I think Howland Reed can only win when he stabs somebody in the back. But go ahead.
Hot is the clear underdog in the scenario. Although this lead pipe has the poisonous advantage. Because, Howland Reed may die of lead poisoning later. In the UT Empress Plaza, it's very wide open. This again is not good for pie. He needs close space. He may get wore out slightly quick. Howland Reed, we haven't seen him in a while. He could be out of shape, but I'm assuming in the crannies and the bogs he's hunting and he's staying in shape. It's not the same as Lords. everywhere else. He also has a cudgel, which is no mere play toy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's hard to think a funny scenario where it doesn't like really just make Hot Pie look awful. I think Howland will just walk up to it and Hot Pie will try to yield, but this isn't how it works. So Howland's gonna smash his brains in with the cudgel. 100% Howland Reed. No, I give Hot Pie a 1% chance of Howland like twisting his ankle and falling, and then Hot Pie can hit him with the lead pipe, but just a 1% chance. Oh, I'm sorry, Hot Pie. You're just not cut out for this, man.
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with you here, Johnny. In terms of the location, nobody really has a clear advantage, right? They're both from Westeros, the ET Emperor's Plazas and Essos. They have no idea, about the location, and it's a big, the plaza itself is pretty huge, right, in ET. So, there's a lot of space. Okay, so and basically with the weapons that each of these guys have, it's really to nobody's benefit in terms of the location. Yeah, lead pipe and cudgel. I think both of them are probably equal in lethality, if you will, right? I mean, they're both really lethal weapons here. Cudgel's that club, right? That the Faith Militant was carrying, and lead pipe's a lead pipe, right? It's an awesome clue weapon as well. No, so basically, it goes into the characters now. Again, as usual, I guess for this stream is okay. Who do you trust more to actually use their weapon properly? So on one hand, you got like a 13-year-old overweight chef, right, in Hot Pie, right? That's always good for him. He knows how to cook, right? But he is a survivor. He told Arya that, right? We're both survivors. So, and you have Howland Reed, right? The guy who basically stabbed Arthur Dayne in the back, right? But he is a lord, okay, of Greywater Watch. He's probably been trained how to fight with a club, okay, and a sword and a frog spear and everything else. So, yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to agree. I'm gonna have to agree with you. And poor Hot Pie. I mean, everybody loves Hot Pie. He's the savior of Westeros. You believe that theory? He's everything.
He did kick that one boy's in the balls to death, though. So I mean, he's got that going.
Yeah, he did kill somebody. Yeah. Yeah, he does have that, and he has a good weapon. But man, against a trained fighter like Howland Reed, and he also has like these mystical powers too, right? So I mean, Howland Reed can maybe conjure up an illusion, right? Like of an oven or something like that, and Hot Pie would just go towards the oven. And then Howland Reed would just smash his brains out with that cudgel. So,
like John Reed said, howling from behind.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, John Taylor, sorry.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have to agree with you here, Johnny. I mean, I'm thinking that Howland Reed takes this at least 95 to 5% chance. I'm always gonna give the underdog like a 5% chance because it's possible that Hot Pie might get a lucky blow in that lead pipe, and one hit the lead pipe, especially against an unarmored foe like Howland Reed, would be enough to probably do him in.
Yeah, anything can happen in a fight. That's one of the things. The better man doesn't always win, especially in scenarios like this. We'd laugh and make fun of it, but great fighters get killed on the street every day because weapons make a difference, and people get lucky, and shit happens, man.
Okay, I mean, and people in the chat, I mean, you guys aren't really helping at all one bit in terms of the ideas here. So we have Hot Pie will poison the gravy game. What the gravy? Game over? Whatever. Okay, sure.
Oh, gravy. That's gross, man. That's gross.
All right. Just talk about a lead pipe filled with gravy. Okay. Dog Show says, yeah, Hot Pie is big boned, and that's an advantage. Not against a man with a cudgel, unfortunately. Especially a trained fighter. So, I'm sorry, guys. You guys are no help. I think we're gonna go with. I'm gonna go with 95.5 Howland Reed, and you're saying what? 99.
99-1.
99-1. Yeah. Okay, so we agree. We agree in this match. All right.
Yeah. You're scaring me. You're so excited about that. No, I'm. Oh, yeah, the
All
chat's
right,
all for
LMR.
it, you
Yep,
said,
he's got
right?
some
Come on.
strong hands from working that dough. That's true.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely so. Definitely so. Okay. All right. So next number, Johnny.
I guess for
All
four.
right. Match four here. Four for match four. Whoa, we got a good one here. We got Gior Mormont, the old bear with a lightsaber, in a Mosetown brothel. Okay. Against Yorin, the wandering crow. Okay. With a white bear. Who takes
Oh
this?
my God,
Who
it just
take?
started.
Well, actually, it's my turn, right? Oh, this is your classic matchup, okay? Because we have two Night's Watchmen with awesome weapons in Mosetown, where you know both of them have probably visited over and time again, right? So both these guys know the lay of the land here, okay? In that Mosetown brothel. Now, if it was just a Night Watchman against somebody else, the Night Watchman would definitely take it, in terms of because of the home field advantage here. But we got two nice Watchmen here, and we got two awesome weapons here. We got a lightsaber against a white bear. Okay, those white bears are freaking no joke, man. I mean, look what it did to Thoros Amir, who also had a flaming sword, sort of like a lightsaber. Okay, I'm just saying, he had a flaming sword. Okay, now. Now, and now we have two pretty good fighters here. Okay, we got Jor Mormont, the old bear. You know he can probably fight pretty well. Sure, he's a little bit long in the tooth. He's past his prime and everything like that. He's probably not as skilled as he was as a younger man, but I'm sure he has some. He has bulk, he has strength at least, and he probably knows how to wield a sword, especially a lightsaber. Against Yoren, who's a little bit younger, but he's also a nice Watchman, probably pretty well trained as well, and probably not a bad fighter. You saw how he took out some of those Go Cloaks, right? When they were trying to capture, Arya and Gendry and those guys. He's no joke as a fighter as well. So, man, this is tough here. I want to pull for that white bear because I think what could happen here is that, Yoren could just basically sick the white bear on top of Gior Mormont, who'll try to fend it off the lightsaber. Okay, but the bear has just so much bulk that maybe one swipe won't be enough to kill that bear. You're gonna have to at least put in like maybe two swipes of the lightsaber to knock him out. And so while Gior is fighting off that white bear, Yoren can probably run over to the other side behind him, basically tackle him, wrestle him to the ground, and basically strangle him to death. Okay, the only issue I have here is that I'm not sure if those tactics will work because we are in a brothel, right? There's not much space for that white bear to move around, right? And that's where I'm having the problem with the white bear. Can Yoren effectively use that white bear in a Mosetown brothel, in closed quarters like that? Right, because the brothel's a shithole, right? It's like there's tables and chairs everywhere. There's not much space for that white bear to really do a lot of damage. If it was the Fist of the First Man or something like that, it'd be completely different. But we're talking about a Mosetown brothel here. So I think I can't buy into that argument just made. I think the man with the melee weapon in closed quarters will win. And the guy who has the melee weapon and an awesome melee weapon in the lightsaber is Gior Mormont. I think Gior Mormont takes this only because of the location. It makes sense because Yoren won't be able to use that white bear to his advantage up close and personal in enclosed quarters.
Well, there's a wild card here, and I'll lay it out. And I'm gonna go with Yoren. Now, the white bear, you're right, but Yoren has the white bear in a room. It's just chilling. He hasn't fed it for a few days. Now, Yoren choose Sourleaf. Okay, he's gonna see Gior Mormont come up with the lightsaber. He wants none of that. He's gonna spit Sourleaf right in his eye, and he's gonna run away and lead another trap. I'm always for these horrible fighting tactics, but they work. Run away and then set up a trap. But this is what he has to do. If you're gonna use the white bear in Molestown, you need to set up a trapdoor situation, and that's the only way I can kind of reasonably make this work. I want to go with Gior and the lightsaber, But I think Yoren's going to use his crooked neck, and he's going to spit at exactly the right angle. It's going to blind Yor for just the right moment. Yoren's going to hobble away. He's going to have time because that damn sour leaf burns like hell when it gets in your eye. And then Jordan's just going to walk in the door and, roll into his little booby trap door. and then it's game over right there. The white bear may die, but who gives a hell?
I don't know. I mean, I think in those enclosed quarters, though, I mean, I think the lightsaber takes it, and I mean, okay, so we have a white bear. Okay, we don't know how effective a lightsaber is against a white bear. Okay, oh, we know fireworks, right? Except when it's held by Thoros of Myr, then evidently fire doesn't work against whites. But yeah. I mean, a couple of swipes would probably take out the white bear. Okay, just basically take out the legs, and then the white bear would just be rolling around like a ball of fire, right? It won't be able to do anything. And I think Jorah Mormont, being a trained swordsman, would be able to use that lightsaber to his advantage. Now, if it was somebody like Cersei Lannister, yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely you're not away because Cersei won't be able to use a sword. She's more than likely basically would point it the wrong way and stab herself with the lightsaber than actually use it properly. So, but Jorah Mormont, though, he is a trained fighter. So I'm gonna have to go with Jorah Mormont here. Unfortunately, I'm thinking it's a close match. Okay, it's not as lopsided as the other ones that we've been doing, but I'm thinking 70-30% chance that Jorah Mormont's gonna win, and that's only because I think Yoren may be able to use that white bear to his advantage somehow to serve as a distraction. Yeah, Jorah would probably kill it, but then Yoren could basically swing around on the other side of Jorah Mormont, basically just wrestle him down.
Yeah, I would go 55-45 for Yoren just because you can't underestimate a little spit in the eye.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I've laid out how I'm not going to lay all this out again because it was very elaborate. But my reasons for picking Yoren. It's very small margin. Like, Gior is a bad man, but Yoren, he does fight dirty. We've seen this. So, and Gior fights more honorably. He got killed before because he fought pretty honorably. He didn't decide to take action when he could. I think it would actually give Yoren a chance to yield. I could throw something in there like that, but Yoren's a little dirtier. I mean, yeah. Physically, mentally, and just in general, dirtier.
Yeah, he's a dirty man.
Old sourpuss.
Yeah, and see, somebody in chat, Jordy Jedi says that basically nothing can beat a lightsaber. And if you watched one of our streams before, a war elephant can beat a lightsaber, especially if it's held by Cersei Lannister. So, John Tater is 2 versus 1. With the bear. So Yoren wins because of that fact. Okay, fine. Let's see. Let's see what else. A bear killed by a bear. Okay, there's some irony going on with that. Okay, everybody's talking about the irony. Okay, thank you very much. A lot of bear skins and brothroths.
Now, would a Molestown whore come into play later?
No. There is
none of that, right? Okay, it's empty. Okay.
Yeah, there is no interference with most town whores.
Okay, just had to clarify because I would say Yoren would have that advantage as well because I'm sure he's been there a little more than Gior.
So, Dog says a unicorn might be able to be a lightsaber. Sure. Yeah, I mean unicorns can beat everything. We know that. Okay, so. All right, but no, I still got to go with the old bear here. I mean, I think that lightsaber. Realistically, I think that lightsaber takes it. I mean, yeah, it's 2-1, but I'm not sure if you can use that white bear to his advantage in the closed quarters. That's all. So, right, because white bears need to have some room to charge, right?
Yeah, I mean, we only really disagree on scenarios. And the percentages they have. I know we disagree on who would win, but the odds are so weird when you involve stuff like this that honestly, who knows? We have to make a computer generated program to see who will actually win one day. We got to figure that out.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we could do that with just basically put in five sets of criteria, give it random numbers, and let it generate. But yeah. So yeah. So what was I saying? 70-30 GR. You're saying 55-45 urine.
Yeah, slim margin.
All right.
Very slim margin.
Awesome, man. So we're on to our fifth fight, Johnny. Okay. So you know the drill. You got to pick a number. Not pull my finger, but pick a number.
12.
12?
Please don't fart love on there.
12.
Yeah, 12.
All right. We got... Oh, this is gonna be good. Okay, we have Ario
Impact
Hota.
driver.
Okay, with the cudgel again. Okay, so we're getting the cudgels here in the Shield Islands against Carl Tanner, the legend of Gin Alley, guys. Okay, with the impact driver. All right, go ahead. I think it's your pick, Johnny. We're on 5.
The impact driver. I mean, it's hard to. Okay, Ario Hota. Now, if you take away that he can die while being stabbed with a toothpick, let's just kind of throw that out before we talk about Ario and kind of go more of book Ario. Shield Islands, there's, depending where they're fighting, could be rocky and slippery. I might give Carl Tanner a little bit of advantage there. But with the weapons, the impact driver, I don't know exactly what you can use that for. I mean, there's a couple of pounding things you can do.
I mean, an impact driver with a Phillips head, screwdriver head, can be pretty dangerous. Just saying.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I'm trying to. I would. Okay, so we'll go with Carl Tanner is fighting on the Shield Islands. Ario Hota tries to get in a few quips with the cudgel. He cannot catch Carl Tanner. Ario is going to slip at some point. Carl Tanner has seen the dirtiness of Flea Bottom, and that impact driver will be fun. I think he'll have some fun ways to use it, and I could see an impact driver to the temple and anywhere else you want to think of. But I'll let you go with this because I'm trying to. I would give it right now about 65% Carl Tanner, but I may waffle. I want to hear what you have to say on this.
Yeah.
It's just tough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, in terms of the location, I mean, I don't think anybody has a clear advantage in terms of location. I mean, we have one person from Ari was from Norvos and Essos, right? And he spent most of his time in Westeros, basically guarding Doran Martell, right? In Sunspear. So I doubt he spent a lot of time on islands. Okay, so he probably is unfamiliar with island terrain. That kind of makes sense. Carl Tanner he's a legend of Flea Bottom, right? Gin Alley, right? So he knows how to fight in bars, taverns, perhaps Craster's Keep, basically, play, indoor, right? He's the indoor fighter. Okay, maybe with some kind of skill outdoors. So I think the location itself is kind of offset here. Both of them don't really have a clear advantage. Weapons, man. So you have a club, okay, against a screw gun, right, with potentially a very dangerous bolt attached to it, right, like a 3/8-inch Phillips screwdriver head, or maybe a bladed bit to it, right? It could be any kind of bit, right? It could even be like one of those corkscrew bits. Right.
Like a hammer drill bit?
Yeah, it could be one of those things. And, I mean, that's pretty I mean, it could be a pretty dangerous weapon. You basically go up to somebody, basically gouge somebody's eyes out with one of those impact drivers, and they're out for the count. And
is this cordless, or does it have a cord?
Oh, no, it's cordless. It's cordless. It's battery powered.
Damn. Okay.
It's battery powered here. All right. Now we're looking at, see, it's it's the characters again here. It's generally boils down to characters here, especially for this stream here. Okay, we have Aryo, who we know is a badass in the books, right? Bearded priest, trained in the arts of the battle axe, that kind of stuff, right? Bodyguard of Duran Mortel, right? So he has a credibility, right, as a fighter. And a cudgel is not that far away from an axe in terms of how you wield it, right? I mean, I'm not sure he's been trained, right, at with all sorts of weapons. So a club, a battle axe, a sword, those kind of things. They're all similar melee weapons, if you will, right? I mean, an experienced fighter can use those things to their advantage. But Carl Tanner, man, I mean, he plays dirty, dude, right? I mean, he's just like, and he's an awesome. I mean, he's like the ultimate dirty fighter, okay, in Game of Thrones, right? He'll do anything to win, pretty much. And having an impact driver, I mean, if our hotel isn't astute enough to be aware of his surroundings and not notice like a sand snake with a letter opener basically killing him, okay, I mean, I think Carl Tanner can probably figure out a way to even make it even more lethal, and even make it more so that he can't notice him sneaking up. And Carl Tanner, all he needs to do is basically kick him in the nuts. Down he goes, and basically use the impact driver, basically use it in his eye, and that's it. I mean, I hate to say it, but Carl Tanner, the legend, I think he's gonna take this, definitely.
I do have a counter though. I think Aryo Hota may win because Carl Tanner will look at this devilry in his hand and he'll be like, "What is this sorcery?" And this gives Aryo Hota just a split second he needs to kill him with that cudgel. To your point,
yeah.
He can whip it very fast. Hashtag phrasing, but I think that's going to be the key. What is this devil sorcery? What is this foul magic in my hands, and how do I use it?
I don't know. I mean, I think Carl Tanner's immune to any kind of like devil sorcery.
I'm not gonna lie. I'll give this one like 50-50. Is where I am on this one. But go ahead.
I mean, Carl is just such a legend, and he just fights dirty, and an impact driver would be like a great weapon for something like Carl. I mean, Carl would just basically impact drive like his ass or something like that, or his back. Our whole time would be going, "What the hell is this all about?" And then boom, it basically a clock to the head, and basically, our whole time goes down. I mean, again, if he goes down by a letter opener, against a sand snake, then he'll easily go down against the legend with an impact driver. Okay.
Does Carl Tanner get time to troubleshoot like how to work this impact driver before the fight?
Yeah, why not? I mean, all he needs to do is basically pull the trigger, right? And also think about it this way: Carl Tanner is a badass in the sense that he's the guy that came closest to basically killing our hero, Jon Snow, out of anybody in the show or books so far.
But I mean, Craster's wife was able to kill him.
If Craster's wife didn't interfere, Carl Tanner would have killed Jon Snow, and boom, the story would have been over right there. And that's how much of a legend Carl Tanner is.
It's a fucking legend. I still will go 50-50. Just
okay.
Only because I'm gonna take away the toothpick killing that happened in the show of Aryo Hota, and I do not want to accept D&D's portrayal of him. But still, this is a really, really tough fight. To your point, Carl Tanner is super dirty. He will do anything to win. He is an assassin. He's not just a fighter. He assassinates. And there's a very clear difference in that. A soldier and an assassin are two different things. So I think you have a good point. I might edge a little bit. I might just give you the edge and go a little bit toward Carl Tanner.
Okay, so what are you thinking? 50, 55, 45, or even like a 51, 49 kind of thing?
Yeah, I'll give it a 51-49, just because I have so much respect for book Aryo Hota.
Okay, 51-49, Aryo. And, and I agree with you. I think this would be a really close fight because, I mean, Aryo he's strong and big, right? All he needs to do is basically catch Carl Tanner in a punch, just a little hit that cudgel and down goes Carl, right? I mean, Carl doesn't wear armor or anything like that either. So he's like, he relies on quickness and speed and dirty tactics, right? So he's not armored. So one hit with that cudgel and down he goes. And Aro is a great fighter. I mean, no doubt about that. But I just love Carl Tanner, and I pull for him in all fights. So, and and he is dirty, right? He'll do anything to win. He'll figure out a way to basically, distract Ario. You know, no,
I definitely can't fault your tactics.
Yeah.
I mean, I did use Yorin spitting in Gior's eye
Yeah.
sorely, so I mean,
yeah. I mean, a knee to the groin and then the impact driver to the face. It's that kind of stuff. And I mean, because Aro's not a eunuch, right? So he is susceptible to that knee in the groin tactic, by the way, guys. Okay, so.
he is, especially if he gets caught before he gets angry. That's when it really gets you.
Yeah. So what do we have here in the chat? I think it's kind of a 50. Well, it's kind of people are leaning towards Ario a little bit more. Kerry says that Ario will win this battle. Dog shows the legend will win. Let's see. Bubba, something about foul magic in my hand. So.
What is this foul devilry?
Somebody's asking about how big that drill is.
It doesn't matter how big the drill is.
Really
it's how you use the drill, not how big it
is. And that's it. You guys in the chat are absolutely no help, by the way, whatsoever. So.
All right, they're just making fun of us. That's it.
So anyway, yeah. So I'm going maybe 50. I'm going 55-45, Carl. Okay, for this, and you're saying about 51-49 Ario, right?
Yeah.
All right, close match, guys. Really close match here.
I win. It doesn't matter. But...
All right, we are in match 6 here, so you know the score or the rules.
Uno, man. 1.
Wow.
Let's give that finger a rest.
Okay, we got.
Oh yes.
Oh. Okay.
Oh my right. God, yeah.
Okay. So we got Onan with the rope in the Iron Bank. Okay, in the Iron Bank against the Queen of Thorns, Olenna Tyrell with a taser gun. Who takes this? They're in the Iron Bank. I'm sorry here, guys, but Olenna Tyrell with a taser gun. Every day, any day, takes this, okay? I mean, I see no way Onan that rope, okay? Only because of the weapons, okay? Iron Bank, okay, they're inside a bank, fine, okay? No real advantage either way. I mean, Olenna Tyrell's been to more banks than Onan probably, so she might have a little more of an advantage knowing the layout of a bank, So, but really is no advantage here. In terms of fighting abilities, they can't fight, right? None of these guys can really fight that well. Okay, let's be honest here. And so really it boils down to the weapons. Who has the better weapon in this scenario here? And a taser gun, got a ranged weapon. Okay, they use that stuff on criminals all the time, to basically subdue them. All it takes is one hit, that taser gun, and boom, you're going down, right? It's worse than pepper spray, man. Okay, and Onan only has a rope, okay? So, yeah, rope is great for strangling people, okay? But she might be able to make it into a lasso and kind of like, kind of hurt her and kind of like, tie her up that way. But I don't think Onan's going to get up close enough to basically is going to get up close enough before Olenna Tyrell just shoots her that taser gun and down she goes. I mean, I don't think she moves that fast, I mean, Onan is, not a young sprightly chicken anymore, right? She's pretty feeble and slow. And I mean, I don't think she'll take it. I don't think she can get up close enough against that taser gun. And all Olenna needs to do is basically point the taser gun, shoot pretty much a slow moving target in Onan, and boom, down she goes. I mean, it's Olenna Tyrell all the way here with that taser gun.
Okay, but the thing is, Olenna has to finish the job, and I don't think she has the strength to beat her to death. And you gotta count on her heart failing, and Onan has lived through so much shit that I think Onan just weathered the storm, and once Olenna's arthritis kicks in and she starts to curl up, Onan will have the rope to strangle her with. Olenna now can take the rope after she tases her, possibly, and then strangle her. But you gotta have a finishing method. This taser isn't gonna complete the job.
So Johnny, so what do you think? Who's gonna take this?
I say old man. Oh, old Nan will will win through stamina. As ironic as it sounds. Olenna Tyrell will be in a fervor and try to kill her, but just cannot finish the job because her weak arms cannot do it because she's old and frail. Old Nan has some kind of magical power that she's seemingly lived through, and I think there's more than meets the eye. And I think she will get tired trying to strangle Olenna, and they'll eventually kind of just both die in their sleep after the fight from exhaustion. And it kind of depends which one passes first. And I almost have to boil this down to a 50-50. They kill each other through straight up. Just both of their hearts fail trying to kill each other. Oh my gosh, my head hurts. Give me a second.
Yeah. Yeah, and Jordy Jedi, you make a great point. Could Onan's heart actually take a taser blast? And I don't think it could. So generally a taser is for subduing criminals, but it's really non-lethal. But to an old lady like Onan, right? I mean, something like an electric shock would basically, cause her to go into cardiac arrest, and down she goes, fatality right there, fatality, man, instant. So Olenna doesn't even need to move close to Onan. It's one hit and cardiac arrest down.
I would say old Nan makes water when she gets tased, and then Olenna it hits Olenna's foot and she tases herself as well, taking both of them out.
I don't know, man. I don't know. To me,
I say it's 100%. They both die.
I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer here, man. Olenna Tyrell, every day, any day of the week, wins this match. I'm sorry, Onan. I mean, you give great stories, you tell great stories to kids and everything like that. But in a battle to the death here with only a rope against a really mean old lady in Olenna Tyrell with a taser gun, there's no way that you'll be able to take that win. So and. 99% chance that Olenna Tyrell win. I'll give Onan a 1% chance only if, say, the taser gun malfunctions.
And that's maybe a more than 1% chance, to be fair.
Yeah, it can malfunction. And Onan could basically just kind of like hobble over to Olenna and basically strangle her with the rope.
No, she doesn't have the strength either. They're both gonna die of exhaustion. Or old Nan's gonna have to take advantage of some type of pulley system, maybe wrap it around a column in the Iron Bank. I think my head hurts from laughing so hard here, but I could see it your way. But I honestly think neither one of these ladies, these awesome ladies from Game of Thrones, is gonna make it through this battle. They have too much going for them, and to ask these old ladies this battle. It's just this is it. This is all they're gonna give you, and this is gonna be a fun, very interesting. Because I feel like,
all right, okay, so
Olenna's gonna accidentally tase herself as well.
So Johnny is predicting the double KO here. It's a double KO, right? Is what we're saying. And I'm thinking that Olenna's gonna take it 99% of 100 times. The only way out of it is if the taser malfunctions, and that's it. I'm sorry, God. Old man. Onan. Yeah. All right, so there you go. A double KO and a almost certain win for Olenna. So we got one more here, Johnny.
Wait, no, not an almost. I still, I don't know about your almost certain win, but I do love your fanning of Olenna Tyrell. The Queen of Thorns is one of my favorite characters, so I have to give you some mad props and respect for that. But still, this is hilarious. The chat's doing better this time.
Yeah. Chat's doing good here about like two old ladies fighting in line at the bank, pretty much. But Olenna has that weapon.
Yeah, she pulled out the taser from her purse.
All right. We got
look, just number 3, just 3. There
3. Okay, 3. Okay, 3 for match number 7, and we are Okay.
Oh my God, this is such an even fight.
Okay. Okay. So guys, we have Ollie. Okay, we have Ollie with a coat rack. Okay, I'm talking about one of those floor standing coat racks here. Those wooden ones. I have one of those in my dining room. Okay, in
Another
Maegor's
clue.
Holdfast against Tyrion Lannister with a candlestick. Who takes it here? Johnny?
It's my go first on this one.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
so Ollie, the sneaky little bitch that he is, we got to watch out for him. This coat rack is a big deal. It's very heavy, but we got to think Ollie is not that strong. He's still a boy,
Mhm.
so this isn't going to be easy for him to swing. We have to remember Tyrion Lannister is a tumbler. He can do cartwheels and flips, especially in the book. So we have to take that a little bit into
Sure.
account.
Yeah.
The candlestick, this perfectly fits Tyrion. Also, it perfectly fits the game of Clue, which Tyrion will play in later. Maegor's Holdfast. I think we can definitely give Tyrion the advantage. He knows lots of nooks and crannies. He doesn't know them all, but definitely gets the advantage here. I'm gonna have to go with Tyrion with the candlestick while Professor Plum watches. No, Tyrion's gonna basically dodge the coat rack with a cartwheel, grab the candlestick. He's not even gonna have it in his hand at first. He's gonna be taunting Ollie, telling him to bring it on. Ollie's gonna get mad. He's gonna purse his lips up in that little face we all hate that Ollie makes. And then Tyrion's gonna dodge him and whop him right inside of the knee with a candlestick. And then, I think he's going to talk a little bit of smack to him before he kills him. He's like, yeah, I heard your mommy and daddy got eaten, you little bastard. He's going to pull some awful stuff because especially Book Tyrion, he's just a son of a bitch. So he's not going to kill Ollie quickly either. And I'm not going to lie, I thought it was even, but the more I think about this is 99% Tyrion right here. Ollie doesn't have a fucking chance.
You know what, I mean, I have to agree with you here because I think you make a good point about Maegor's Holdfast. I mean, they're in the Red Keep here, right? I mean, it's basically like a little subsection of the Red Keep, and Tyrion would probably know that layout in and out. So he definitely has the home, kind of like the home field advantage in a way. Plus, in that kind of more enclosed area, Tyrion being the dwarf, and with kind of like a shorter weapon, a more nimble weapon, right, definitely has an advantage in this kind of scenario, this kind of location. Now, a coat rack is no joke, okay? If you were a strong man, like the Mountain perhaps, or the Hound, right, you can easily wield that coat rack like a total weapon, like a badass weapon, right? I mean, you can hold it in the middle and you can block and parry with the coat rack.
The Mountain puts it in between his big toe and the long toe, and he wields it on his foot as an extension to kick with.
Yeah, and it's about 5.5 feet, tall, or 6 foot tall. So you're gonna have some range here. But the problem is that is Ollie you're talking about, right? Like a 10-year-old kid, right, who doesn't have the strength to actually wield a coat rack properly as a weapon. And Tyrion's a badass, right? He knows how to fight, right? He's the son of Tywin Lannister, right? I mean, I'm sure he knows how to fight pretty well. And and he's a survivor. He's not afraid to play dirty once in a while. To win a game. And a candlestick is that's that's not a bad weapon at all for somebody like Tyrion. It doesn't take much skill to use, but it's dangerous. It's basically a club, right? So and Ollie is just I totally agree with you. I mean, Tyrion would just talk some smack to Ollie. Ollie would just get pissed off and get distracted. The wildlings killed your mom and dad, ha ha ha, and that kind of stuff.
Had sex with your mother.
Yeah. Oh, no, your dad got shot by an arrow by a wildling, huh? That kind of thing. So I mean, Tyrion would just talk a bunch of smack to Ollie, and Ollie's face just turned more and more red and distracted, and he wouldn't know what to do. And then boom, once he's distracted, Tyrion with that candlestick would just club him over the head. Because I mean, they're almost about equal height. Tyrion maybe about 6 or 7 inches shorter at this point, because Ollie's still a kid, right? So so it's not like it's a total mismatch in terms of physical size here as well. And Tyrion probably has more bulk, right? In terms of like the actual bulk, right? In terms of weight, probably too, than Ollie. So yeah, I mean, in terms of physicality, in terms of smarts, street smarts, in terms of even the weapon, especially the weapon tailored to the actual fighter, in terms of the location, I mean, it's all Tyrion here. I'm going. I'm going Tyrion with a 99% chance here. But that 1% chance that Audie might get like a lucky swing and take him out.
Tyrion could catch a cramp. That's what I'll give Ollie. Tyrion can catch one of his signature cramps that he gets in his legs every now and then. But to your point earlier about Tyrion being a great fighter in the books, man, he killed a war horse with his helm. He did his head. I mean, he just headbutt Ollie into oblivion, and talk so much, man. Shit, man. Yeah, I'd have to. Yeah, 99% straight. We definitely agree on this. 99%.
Yep,
Tyrion, the Imp Lannister.
And
the Demon Monkey.
Yeah, we have some great comments in the chat. Dog Show says that he whipped that dude that was pestering him at the auction block. Right. And he was, and his hands were bound, right? He still kicked his ass.
Very true.
Very true. Yeah. And I don't think anybody's pulling for Ollie. It's like everybody hates Ollie. Tyrion can do fancy gymnastics and stuff like that. A dwarf's cock has magic powers. True.
Yeah, and Tyrion would make sure to let Ollie know that before he passed away. He's like, "Oh wow, that's all you got between your legs? You call yourself a full-grown boy?" I mean, it'll get bad. Tyrion will be really, really mean with this because I mean, Ollie killed Jon Snow, and Tyrion loves Jon Snow. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay.
He does have respect for Jon, but that's neither here nor there. Yeah, damn, I hated the last battle was so lopsided.
Hey, so you got time for do one more, Johnny?
Yeah, let's do one more.
Let's do one more. Okay, so pick a number. We're gonna do one more bonus round here, guys. Bonus round.
We'll do 6 for Maegor's teats.
All right. Okay.
Wow. Oh, this is funny.
Okay. So we have Ned Stark with the lug wrench in the River Run dungeons. Okay, so he knows dungeons, obviously. Against Jojen Reed with a quarterstaff. Who takes this?
All right. So we assume since Ned is a pretty good fighter, he's got this lung wrench. He might have some grease on his knuckles because he's been working on the carriage. And in the River Run dungeons, Ned kind of has an advantage, but I don't know how much he's actually been there. Semi-home turf, but I would just say it's kind of dark. This could be to Jojen's advantage. With his quarterstaff, I think it will actually just kind of really creep Ned out and say, I know how you're going to die. I know you're not Jon's father. And, this is going to give Jojen the opportunity to make a kill. Will this happen? I don't know. I think I see this as a really, really close fight because of the dungeons, the darkness, and Jojen's green seeing abilities. I think if he goes and tries to hit Ned Stark in the temple with that quarterstaff, Ned might get hit and be like, so why did you do that, Jojen? And then, he has a chance to finish the job. We could go for the nut shots here, but before I give it to percentages, let's see if we can iron out this fight a little bit because this is a close one in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's really close here because you have Ned Stark. He's not like a top tier fighter, right? But he is kind of he's second tier, right, in terms of fighting abilities. He's not. He's no joke when it comes to actually being a fighter here. A lug wrench, it's a nasty weapon, right? People use that stuff use a lug wrench all the time to basically rob people, So it's it's a pretty dangerous weapon there. River Run dungeons, that's interesting because we're talking about a place that isn't very well lit at all. It's dark, dank, damp, and maybe lit by just like a little bit of torchlight, but that's really about it. It smells like shit too, right? So it's really a really, really bad place. And man, and then Jojen Reed with the quarterstaff. Okay, Jojen Reed, right, walked with the quarterstaff, from Winterfell all the way north to the Raw with the quarterstaff, right? So he knows how to fight with a quarterstaff, or he's familiar with how a quarterstaff works.
He knows how to handle a quarterstaff, you're saying?
Yeah, he knows how to handle one excellently. You know that. And Jojen Reed, being like this boy, this green seer, of prophetic powers, wouldn't you think that he could just screw with Ned and goes, last night I dreamed I was gonna kill you, Ned, or something like that. And Ned would be going, what? That's not fair. There's no honor in that.
There's foul sorcery.
Yeah, it's foul sorcery. There's no honor in that. Because Jojen, Jojen, well, I saw it in my dream, Ned, that you were gonna die. So Ned would just be flustered left and right, and I think, and also the fact that we're in a dark, damp dungeon would actually lend further credence to the whole idea that Jojen could really screw with him, in terms of using his prophetic powers, right? Because when you're in the dark, things change, right? Your fear factor goes up. You start believing in all sorts of stuff.
Well, one thing he would just have to say, I know you and my father had a sexual relationship. He could go something like that and get straight in his head, because he's going to know everything about Ned. People are making this to the point. He may even know his moves beforehand. And the fact that Ned is so close with Jojen's father, who's, because my mind is so frantic now, howling. He may have that split second where he doesn't do it, and that's what gives Jojen the advantage as well. Because Ned, if anyone, will have some reservations about killing someone.
Yeah, especially a little boy, right? You're right. I mean, he would think it's dishonorable to kill a kid like Jojen, whereas Jojen would probably think, it's part of the prophecy being fulfilled that he needs to kill Ned.
You need to die.
You need to die, right? Yeah, and he can handle that quarterstaff, and he'll just knock Ned over. It's close because Ned's a great fighter, right? And him with a lug wrench is really, really kind of a deadly combination. But when you put in the fact that Jojen is just so creepy, and they're like in this dark dungeon where your fear factor goes up, you start believing and stuff, you start seeing things left and right, and Ned will definitely get affected by that. And at first glance, it's Ned all the way, but I think Jojen takes this in an upset here. Maybe like 65-35% chance Jojen wins here. What do you think?
I might even go 70-30, because Ned does not like foul sorcery or devilry. What does this devilry speak of, Jojen? I think that will give Jojen the chance, and all it takes is one shot to the face with that quarterstaff. It's no joke, man.
Yeah. And Jojen Reed knows how to handle a quarterstaff, right? He walked 800 miles with one of those things. From Winterfell up to the Wall, 700 miles, and he knows another 100 miles or 200 miles, to Bloodraven's cave.
Jojen
knows how to
can't
use
fight,
the quarterstaff.
But this isn't a fight. We're talking about one swing.
Yeah.
All Ned has to do is hesitate, which he is prone to doing. I don't want to hurt you.
Yeah, and Terry goes, Jojen would just come up with that, Lyanna Stark smack and goes, "Promise me, Ned." And then Ned would just like, he'll just like go crazy, and he'll basically collapse. Promise me.
He'll just keep saying it over and over like Red Rum. Promise me. Oh man, yeah. He'll just keep saying, like, Ned will punch him a couple of times because he doesn't want to hit him with the lug wrench yet. He's trying to work up his courage, and every time he punches Jojen, promise me. And that's just Ned's just gonna freak out, and he's gonna give him that opportunity. Yeah, Jojen will pull a Tyler Durden on him and just kind of lay there and take it until his opportunity presents itself. Because I don't think Ned could go through with it. That's the thing.
Jojen can make Ned like go all Fight Club, right? And basically Ned be fighting himself. Perhaps.
He'll close his eyes and blink. He'll blink, and then he's hitting himself in the face. I'm kicking my own ass.
Yep, Sean Bean kicking his own ass. Yeah. All right.
Oh my gosh, this is a good one to end on.
All right, great job, Garrett. Great job here. So it looks like we disagreed on like the majority of these things. Maybe 6 or 5 out of the 8 that we disagreed on, and we had some really, really good matches here.
We really did, and I took it as a challenge too, because I want to try to break it down, because so many variables can happen in a fight. It's unbelievable when you think about it. It's actually scary.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to get scary about it, because this is so hilarious. We're taking these fictional characters that, well, I mean, this is a great job you did here. Shout out to Felicia as well. I watched that; it was hilarious. And yeah, man, this battle is just fantastic, man. I'm happy to be on here. Man.
Great.
Tyrion and Ollie, man.
I'm happy to have you on here, Johnny, and I'm happy to have the chat here too. So here's the shout out time. Okay, so Johnny, if I miss anybody, just let me know. Okay, we have the Unkindness of Ravens, Terry T, the Fat Dingo, Living My Rhapsody, Kerry McDonald, The Dog Show, Felicia joined in here, Game of Owens. His name's Owen. Let's see. Bubba Husky. What else do we have here?
Jordy
Jedi, yeah. Peter Griffin showed up.
Oh, yeah. Mackenzie Burns was in here.
Yeah. Some guy named Johnny B. Crazy showed up.
John Taylor.
John Taylor, right. And who else do we have here?
I think there's some more, but the chat only goes back so far now. I hate that.
So
Did we say Bubba Husky?
Westerosi Ninja, yeah, whoever he is, showed up.
More. But yeah, I can only go back so far in the chat. If there's anybody out there we didn't give you a shout out, throw it out there.
Yeah.
Throw it out there.
Yeah, but again, thanks a lot, guys, for joining this Saturday. And remember, I'm gonna try to take less breaks. I promise not to take another break for another week, okay? But I won't be here next week, so that promise will start the following week. So anyway, with that, Johnny, what's going on with your channel? Tell us what you're doing.
Yeah, man, I just have a few things going on. Nooners of Locations and Lore. This week will be White Harbor, where I just take different people and delve into a little podcast, and we get really deep into the origins of a location, and we just talk about some crazy tinfoil theories at the end. Definitely check that out. I think Bravosi Broadcast will be on this week. Also, Fire and Blood will be coming back, and Milt will be there as well. Be on the lookout for that. But Season 8 is here first, and it's hectic as hell. Join me every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern for a nooner, if you want to, after the premiere of Game of Thrones. Other than that, that's about it. I got the Cylon Johns, my other fun little channel. We can go talk a bunch of crap in the chat. Other than that, that's it. You can find me on Episode Club, too, as well.
That nooner invite that nooner thing sounds like a really spicy invite, Johnny.
Hey, I might have some spice for you, buddy.
Anyway,
I like those sexual undertones.
Again, Johnny, thank you very much for coming on here. It's been a total blast. Thanks a lot, guys, in the chat for coming out as well. And tomorrow, on the Westerosi Ninja channel, Dog and I will be doing our top 5 Season 8 wishes. So basically what we want to see most in Season 8. So it could be predictions. It could be, unexplained plot holes that have never been filled. It could be anything. It could be deaths. It could be anything. So stay tuned tomorrow, 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for that. And next Friday, we have trivia, Jeopardy trivia, with myself and Felicia, where we'll be going and doing trivia on Game of Thrones, The Song of Ice and Fire again. And what else is going on? That is really about it in this channel. And again, next Saturday, no Clash of Crows, but the Clash of Crows will start up again the week afterwards. So again, thank you very much for joining us, and we will see you all later.